are aware of the various brilliant military victories of Confederate General Thomas Stonewall Jackson. From his glorious stand at the First Battle at Bull Run, which he earned his nickname, to his death in 1863, he displayed excellent troop management qualities both on and off the battlefield. Using various articles, biographies, and other sources, I will show how Jackson's style of troop management significantly contributed to his military successes. John Selby, author of Stonewall Jackson as a military commander, refers to Jackson as an American Napoleon. With his ability to march his army nearly 400 miles in 30 days, during which time he defeated 4 separate armies, took approximately 4,000 prisoners, and suffered less than 1,000 casualties, the term seems to suit him well. Jackson was able to confidently and fearlessly lead his troops into battle, assisted by his strong Christian faith, as well as his strategic and tactical competency. His cool and collected attitude on the battlefield helped boost the morale of his men and arguably Confederates everywhere. For example, at First Bull Run, he was approached by a sweaty, dusty General B, who informed Jackson that they were being pushed back, to which Jackson calmly replied, "Then we will give them the bayonet." This bold determination inspired B with new confidence, and he was able to rally his men and turn the tide of the battle for the South. 2 weeks before this, with only 380 men and 1 artillery gun, Jackson held off attacks by Union troops numbering nearly 10 times his own in size, and only suffered 2 killed and 10 wounded after defending his position for 3 hours. For this feat, he was promoted to Brigadier General. If it is true that morale, as opposed to numbers, is the true strength of an army, as mentioned in G.F.R. Henderson's Stonewall Jackson and the American Civil War, then one could see how Jackson's troops were able to defeat fighting forces much greater in number than themselves. Jackson's troop management style off of the battlefield certainly helped bring about the high morale of his men. According to the book Captains of the Civil War, by William Wood of the Yale University Press, he administered discipline sternly throughout all ranks. There was an incident involving some deserters, and Jackson recommended that they be shot, and the rest of the regiment confronted these guys and gave them the option to submit or be killed, and they chose to submit. And after this, there were no more mutinies under Jackson's command. Jackson was reported to have eaten and prayed with his men at times, showing that although he was their commander, he didn't necessarily think of himself as above them. There was an instance in the early war where he stood over them and stood guard while they slept after a 20-mile march. He was able to march them 25 to 30 miles per day while still having them be an effective fighting force. He once said, "I have never found anything impossible with this brigade," when referring to the Stonewall Brigade, who had fought alongside him throughout much of the war. When looking at Jackson's military victories, it is clear that his troop management style, both in and out of battle, contributed greatly to his success. As one of the most effective generals of his time, he was greatly admired by and inspiring to most, if not all, Confederates. For these reasons, Jackson is considered one of the greatest American military commanders of all time.